next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Jimmy, this is Jimmy Alfred.
Joseph down and designing.
What are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC. You can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. Before we get started, let everybody know if you're on the W4CY.com website and you hit Talk 4 TV, you can actually see us live on the air. We're waving now. Ron's got his Ducky shirt on. And let me introduce...
It's a Jimmy Star shirt.
Let me introduce everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hello, my dear. Yes, I'm wearing one of your shirts, one of your design, which is one of my favorite because they're yellow rubber duckies. Now, you all remember when you were little and you took baths, what you did with that rubber ducky? Anyway, change the subject.
Then we want to welcome. Actually, Cherie Oakley's calling me on my phone now. Text her, Sir Scotty J.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. I don't know if somebody just sent me a text. I don't even have any idea who it is. But anyway, what's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing good. We want to say hi to the man behind the video in Pennsylvania, Mr. Scotty J. What's up?
What's going on? So Sherry just hit us up, so we're going to be good to go.
Okay, good. Then we also let her know, though. And then we also want to say hi to the fabulously gorgeous woman of the hour, of the 2 hours, who's in Wellington, Florida. What's up, Danielle?
Oh my gosh, that was such a flattering introduction. I'm blushing and I'm smiling from ear to ear. Thank you.
There you go.
Well, I want you to tell all of us about the new guy you're seeing.
Hang on, not yet.
Wait a minute. That she's kind of, kissy-facey with.
Not necessarily yet. He's just a good dude, trying something new. He is a dad. I've never dated a dad, so I'm kind of dealing with baby drama. And I'm just like, God, maybe this is why I didn't date dads. But no, he is English, he is Scottish, and he is Viking. So he is not American at all. So
you gotta love it.
That's okay. He's still human.
Viking. Yeah. Like Vlad the Impaler.
Yes. You've never had a Viking experience, right, Debs?
No. I'm excited.
Danielle, not Deborah. I got your name wrong. Danielle.
It's okay.
I'm very tired. Extremely exhausted again. Every time I'm on the show, I'm so tired. I don't sleep anymore. I'm busy. There's lines to learn for a new movie. I want to be good, and I'm learning and reading and studying, and I'm going to start to take some kind of marijuana. I forgot what it's called. Without the high stuff in it. That's supposed to. Well, no.
Without the THC.
Yeah, it's supposed to improve your memory.
Pineapple Express.
CBD.
Yes.
LSD.
No, CBD. Anyway, hold on. We got to say hi to a bunch of people. So first off, now I'm in 2 chat rooms. What's up, Twism? Twism. That's hilarious. Twism is in 1 chat room with Eileen Shapiro. What's up, Eileen? What's up? Twism White Piece, hip-hop artist, fabulous. We also got Teresa
Meanwhile,
Sabin.
Stop right there. Do you know what Twism means?
Huh?
Oh, my God, where I come from in Brooklyn.
Uh-huh.
A woman's, is called a Twazil or the Twism.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, my God. That guy's name is Twazil. Twism.
We love him. You got to love it. He says, just say TWIP, TWP. There you go.
I like Twism better. What is it, White Twism?
Twism White Piece.
Oh, Twism White Piece. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Twism likes a white piece. I mean, really, Twism. You got to be joking me.
He's laughing. All right, what's up? Eileen's there too. We also got Teresa Sabin in one chat room.
Eileen, darling, sweetheart, love of my life, best friend I ever had. I was playing with your rocks today. It was so nice. They're so big and they look beautiful. Only thing is the sun was 104 or 105 and your rocks got very hot. So I couldn't, put your rocks where I want them to be because they were hot rocks.
What kind of rocks are we talking about here, Ron?
No, for my birthday, Eileen said to Jimmy, because we're doing our patio and the flagstones are very expensive. The stones are like $5 and something cents each, and we have like 1 million of them. So Eileen said, "Well, can we get Ron?" So Jimmy said, "Well, buy him like 10 stones. That's like $60 or $70." And that was a lovely birthday gift from Eileen. So now when I go out, the upper left-hand corner are Eileen's rocks. So I like to get off on Eileen's rocks sometimes because they're very hot. No, you can't go barefoot. I'm doing a clean show, you filthy pigs. I mean, I can't go barefoot standing on Eileen's rocks because they're big and you fall. They burn your feet. Hot rocks.
To play.
Shut up, Danielle. Don't come in on this filthy conversation, you pervert. You're worse than anybody.
You're right. Absolutely.
I'm doing clean shows from now on because I am an actor.
Oh, yes.
I am in film, and I'm going to be famous. So I want to be famous for a clean mouth. No more cursing. No more dirty double entendre. No more innuendo.
Yeah, right. You've already done innuendo like the whole time you've been on today.
No, I didn't. That was your filthy mind that heard it that way, pervert.
Oh, yeah.
Degenerate pervert.
We want to give shout-outs to Backpack John's in the chat room. What's up, Backpack John? And we got a great show for you guys today. We have Cherie Oakley coming on, country superstar. And then we have Eugenia Kuzmina, who is a Russian supermodel, actress, comedian. And she's gorgeous, too. Even Scott was saying, wow, she's like really gorgeous. So today is
happy.
Yes, I was going to say today is the day of the gorgeous women, super talented, gorgeous women, because that's what we've got on today.
If you put a skirt on the statue of Abraham Lincoln, Scott would get off.
I need duct tape today.
Scott, anything in his skirt, even Abe Lincoln's statue in Washington.
Scott taped himself to his thigh.
Right, he should
the
be so lucky.
pharmaceutical company actually stole my mojo to make that little blue pill.
Yeah. Scott's wife called in and she said, "Stop making fun of my husband's, member, because I have difficulty with it." And I said, "Really? Is it that big?" She said, "No, I have difficulty finding it."
Oh yeah, that's great.
Look at Danielle. She's like loving it. Look at Scott. He's like, fuck you.
Oh, you can actually see that. I forgot my camera was still enabled for you guys, even though the audience can't see it. Yeah, so a lot of body language going on there.
Yeah. Let's keep it a clean show. No language, Jimmy. You said a curse word.
Okay, that's okay. I didn't say I was going to do a clean one. You said you are.
Yeah, but then we hear from who that screams at us. No more F's.
That's
words.
okay. We can do 3 a show. So
we're only allowed
one.
3 F words a show by the law.
Yeah.
We went to the movies last night. We saw a film. Good performance. Could have been a good story. Too political for me. The message was way too strong about diversity, about a television hostess woman who was white and quite English, and in America had a show for years and years, and suddenly they were pulling the show from her because she was losing her audience, because her audience was no longer just white people or English white people, that the people were coming in were diversified. So she had to learn from a Hindu woman that worked for her that was really corny, how to embrace diversity. And the moment she did that, her show was saved, and she went on to becoming, again, the greatest hostess. A far-fetched story.
It was called Late Night. It was actually pretty good.
Far-fetched story. The message was a lot too strong. I, being a white American, felt a little bit uncomfortable with some of the dialogue about privileged white people, and
because you're not.
I was never privileged. I grew up in a rough neighborhood where they beat the hell out of you. We didn't have money, and during the war we couldn't get oil to heat our house, so we froze to death. I remember in the morning. Please, Shazam, my dog is here. I remember in the morning putting the stove on in the oven in the kitchen to heat up my clothes because it was so cold. I was far from privileged. I remember once having a hole in my shoe and I stuck cardboard in it. Go away, boy. And I stuck cardboard in my shoe so that the pavement wouldn't rip my sock. So I don't think that all white people are privileged people. I think coming from my generation, we were more underprivileged than privileged.
Anyway,
In
the
fact,
movie
a lot
was
of
called.
the immigrants that are coming here now, they are the privileged ones because they have free housing. They get all kinds of medical benefits that their country didn't offer them. So they're really quite privileged.
Well, we get. It was called Late Night. It had Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling in it. It did have some really good parts in it, and it was a little political, but
Emma is a fabulous actress. I mean, there's nothing she can't handle. There's nothing she can't make wonderful.
and John Lithgow was in it, who played her
For
husband.
2 seconds, he was just there so they could get the money to make the film. They had to throw big names out to get the investors, so they did John Lithgow. He's on screen not even 3 minutes, but anyway, maybe 6 minutes. Today we're getting a little too sensitive. I can no longer do my stand-up comedy act that I did 40 years ago because people would be totally offended. Back then, we were able to roast each other. We could say things like silly shit.
Don't even say it.
No, but silly stuff we could say that no longer is appropriate. What has happened now is people have forgotten how to laugh. People have forgotten how to laugh at themselves. People have forgotten how to laugh at their shortcomings. And comedy is all about shortcomings. You know, the mother-in-law jokes, the father-in-law jokes, or my wife, you know, those jokes. Or I sent my kids to college to get some knowledge. You know, those kind of jokes, they don't work anymore because people get offended. So now when they do comedy, all they do is curse and become vulgar. The point in this movie was Emma, who is the hostess of this wonderful late night show, is being kicked off the air and being replaced by a cheesy, seedy, ugly, disgusting,
Ike Barinholtz.
dirty-looking comic who talks about
Pooping in shoes.
shit in another shoe, of which she brings that point out.
That was the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah, the point is that today people accept less. Years ago, they demanded talent. They demanded creative writing. They wanted to hear funny jokes. Today, all you do is go out and curse up a storm, talk about your pubic area or passing wind, and you got a show. I like that point. Although I am quite risque in my behavior on this show, but I do it with a great deal of caring. I don't do it to be mean or nasty. Anyway, all in all, it was a good film.
Danielle says she agrees with you, Ron. She can't say anything without somebody getting butthurt offended, and she thinks everybody needs to grow a pair and get over it.
Wait a second. I feel that the Indian girl that wrote this movie and stars in this movie will probably get an Academy Award because it's going to be politically correct. This is my problem today with Hollywood. A very dear friend of mine who is a very, very famous producer and promoter of many television shows that you watch was at our house a couple of weeks ago for dinner. And he said to me, Ron, I feel the only one that should get the job is the person who is qualified, not the person who is diversified. And I agree with that. Hollywood now is being forced into bringing a lot of people in of color, sexuality, nationality, who are not really able to do the job that they're there for, but they have to put them in. Forcing them into a storyline script, you can't do. You cannot do a Swedish movie and have an all-black cast. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't work that way. So I think Hollywood's in a lot of trouble because they're squeezed between diversity and reality. Again, the best man gets the job. I don't care what color, what nationality, or what sexuality. Whoever he is or she is gets the job. And
based on talent.
On talent. And that's what it should be in movie making.
That's why you have so many movies that suck.
Exactly, because they're not bringing in talent. But this is the new era. It's not my day. Back in my time, we didn't have such a thing. But then again, I lived in an all-white world. In my world, there were no blacks or gays or Hispanics or anybody in movie. Well, maybe Carmen Miranda, that kind of a Hispanic. But they didn't have diversity in film in my day. Everybody was waspy. Jewish people changed their names to like Robert Taylor. Or Robert Young when they in fact were Jewish. Black people came on as maids, and they were, yes, I'm going to get it for you, showing black people as stupid, which was hideous and wrong. So I'm happy with what has changed now in film, because we have black superheroes. We have women superheroes. Now I'm waiting for a gay superhero. And then I'll be very happy. But I think we're
one of these days, maybe we'll write one.
Where we're going today is good. Let's not overdo it, folks. Let's not get so carried away that diversity goes before talent.
There you go. All right, everybody. So we're going to call our first guest. Her name is Cherie Oakley. And while we're calling her and getting her on the line, we're going to play a song. It's called Little Girl. It's a song that she sings on. She didn't write it, but it's a beautiful song. Came out for like Mother's Day and Father's Day. Do you guys have that video?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yep, we're ready.
Scott? All right, everybody, on Enjoy. All right, everybody, this is Little Girl by Cherie Oakley. Enjoy.
Little girl, big dreams. You're a princess on your daddy's knee, playing dress up in your mama's clothes, hairbrush singing when you're all alone. Don't forget these days, don't let them slip away. Keep on wishing on that star you're chasing. Listen when the mirror tells you you are beautiful. Find your happy ever after in this big old world. And hold on to that little girl. Growing up is so bittersweet. Life's a mystery when you're 17. Falling into love and falling fast. Hearts break easy when they're made of glass, shattered on the ground in pieces all around. Just remember when you lose that shooting star you're chasing, when the mirror on the wall says you're not beautiful, there's a happy ever after in this big old world. Just hold on to that little girl. Hey, yeah. Ooh. And daddy's arm in mama's gown. You're a princess walking down the aisle. You found love, dreams are coming true. And soon a little girl that looks a lot like you will change everything. Hold her closer every day and tell her, keep on wishing on that star you're chasing. Listen when the mirror tells you you are beautiful. Find your happy ever after in this big old world. that little girl. Hold on to that little girl. Yeah.
All right, guys, everybody, we are live right now.
Hey,
All
we're
right,
back,
everybody,
we're
that
back,
was
we're back.
Cherie Oakley, little girl, and now we have her on the line. Before we introduce her, we want to make sure we can hear. So say hello.
Hello.
Yay! All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented and gorgeous Cherie Oakley. Hello and welcome to the show.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
I came on this show feeling a little bit down, and now I see your smile, and I feel very up. What a lovely smile. It's a happy, friendly smile.
Thank
Are those teeth yours?
Yes.
They're beautiful teeth. I love beautiful teeth.
Thank
You're a beautiful girl. You should have beautiful teeth.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So then we're going to also introduce you to our lady behind the board. She's in our Wellington studios, and her name is Danielle. Say hi, Danielle.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Danielle.
That's so much fun. I love it. Hello. And then we've got the man behind the videos. His name is Scotty J. He's in Pennsylvania. So say hi to Scotty J.
Hi, Scotty. How are you?
Good, Sherry. Love your voice.
Thanks. Thank you.
I haven't heard any of her.
And then we have, yes, you have.
I've heard her music. Do I like it?
Yes.
Oh,
You're
I
gonna
mean,
hear one in a
I
minute.
don't listen. You listen. I never investigate anybody we have on. I don't like rehearsal. It's all fresh. I have no idea what I'm going to ask you. I have no idea what you're going to tell me or what I ask you. That's what makes our show so unique because
Yeah, I love that.
it's not. It's what do you call it? It's
not scripted.
Not scripted. And
So we have two chat rooms. One where everybody's watching
wait a minute.
video.
Go back to her music.
No, wait.
What music is she?
You've heard it.
Which one?
Well, we're gonna play some of it in a minute. We just played one a minute ago. You heard a part of it.
I couldn't hear it. We don't
Okay,
have
so
that.
that's okay. Here we go.
Is
So
she
we've
in-
got
Is she in my car?
no, not yet. 'Cause
Oh,
you
you
never
didn't
put
get in my car
You
yet?
never put them in your car until after they come on the show.
Oh, that's my Academy Award. If I like your music, you go in my car. I drive a convertible, and I blast my music. And when I'm at traffic lights, I watch the people's reaction. If they go, ugh, or if they go, oh, who's that? Who's that? So that's how I get my people in the street opinion.
Well,
So
I gotta know if you put me in your
No,
convertible. I
Jimmy,
need to
Jimmy
know.
said I've heard your music and I like it.
Yeah,
so
he
now
likes
that I
it.
know you're going in the car.
So hold on. We have chat room. We have two different chat rooms going on. So we need you to say hi to everybody in the chat room, and then say hi to Eileen because she's in one of the chat rooms.
Oh, Eileen, I love you. Hi,
Everybody loves Eileen.
how are you? I know. She's the best. She really is.
She's my mushbooker.
And Dave Hughes from the UK, which I know we're gonna be getting you to the UK soon, is in the chat room. He says it's very happy to see you. He's kind of like our resident perv. He likes all the beautiful women that we have on the show, and his favorite is Sadie Katz. But he's
And
in there saying
married.
it's so nice
my
to see you.
Talking about Sadie Katz, she's in Genoa, Italy, knocking them dead, doing this fabulous movie that I cannot wait when it's released to see. And Sadie is really, you know who Sadie Katz is. She's one of my dearest friends and an actress.
She's a horror movie actress.
Star of horror movies, but now
I love
she's in a legitimate film now, not a $2 movie. She's in a multi-million.
Oh, wait a
dollar
second.
movie.
You said you love horror. What's a horror movie that you like?
Oh my gosh. Well, my husband is super good friends with Patrick Wilson.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. Yes. And so, of course, that made me super good friends with him. But he's the sweetest guy in the world. He's super talented. And of course, he's done all kinds of movies, comedies, drama.
And that Conjuring, they got a new Annabelle movie getting ready to come out.
I know. And I think they have a cameo in it because they, that's all connected and stuff.
Right.
So he's done, gosh, I feel like he's kind of the new king of horror movies now, which of course we go see them all and I love him. But it's great to be kind of behind the scenes because he'll tell us nah, this one isn't really worth going to see or this one's really good. You should totally go see it. So we get to find out ahead of time what's kind of worth going to see. But he's such a brilliant actor. He's an amazing singer. So
I
it's good.
love it.
We go to 100 million of them. Some of them I can't stand them. I want to jump out of the seat because they look like they were made in somebody's house. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that really cheesy kind of crap. And some of them are really good. Some are good. Far and few between. But Sadie's movie, they're shooting it in the mountains of Genoa. And the story she told me, oh my God, what an ending. Hitchcock could have written the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Okay.
But what an ending. Holy smoke.
What's it called?
I don't know.
It's not out yet. They're filming it still.
I don't
so
know. What is
it'll
it called?
be a little while.
The
I don't
Cabin.
know.
I think it's called The Cabin or something like that.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
And it's got a lot of big Italian stars in it. Matter of fact, the leading man is magnificently gorgeous. My God, where they got him from? This hunky Italian handsome beauty. I wish I was in that film and we had to play gay parts.
All right, so let's go. We're going to go from horror. We can come back to horror. We're going to talk about you. So first of all, everybody, this is Cherie Oakley. You can follow her on social media on Twitter. She's at Cherie Oakley, Cherie Oakley, Oakley. Her Instagram is probably Cherie Oakley, and so you have to write it out. And her website, and what's your website? CherieOakley.com?
CherieOakley.com.
There you go. That was easy to do.
Remember her name, Annie Oakley? Cherie Oakley. Easy.
And you guys, we've been playing several times over the last couple of months her first debut single, Work It, which we're going to play in a few minutes.
Work It?
Yes.
That's her?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good song. I like that one. Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I like your song. Work
Did
It.
I make your convertible? Am I going to be in your convertible now?
I think Work It might be there already. I'm not sure.
No, I didn't put it in
We
yet.
didn't put it in?
I never put it in until they come on the show.
I love Work. See, I remember the title too. I loved Work It.
Oh,
Very great song. It's going to sell.
And
Much. I appreciate
No, really, it's gonna go. It's a good, and I don't like crappy music. Please trust me. You know, we have so many guests on that sing and bring music, and I want to be polite. I was raised with, if you have nothing nice to say, you say nothing at all,
Right.
and that's what I do. I say, "Oh, gee, your hair's really pretty. What a nice color. Who does it?" You know, but I don't talk about the music because I can't lie to my audience and say it's fabulous when they sound like car brakes squeaking and they sing.
So let's talk a little bit about, like, first of all, because I'm a big Voice fan. Ron doesn't watch any reality television, so he doesn't watch any of it. But I look at all of it because I used to work for a record label, and
she was on The Voice.
She was on season 1 of The Voice, so that's before anybody really knew what it was.
Did you win?
She didn't win, but she was on Team Christina Aguilera, who is one of my favorite singers of all time. I think she's fabulous. And I have a very good friend, Moses Stone, who was on Team Christina in season 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was the rapper. He was the rapper guy on it.
Is that the show that Nicole was on?
No, she was on X Factor.
X Factor.
She was on X Factor, which is another. I watch all of them. She didn't watch. So tell us just a little bit. Like, did you have fun being on The Voice? I mean, it gave you a little bit of exposure.
Yeah, it was. It was a weird thing for me because when I was contacted by The Voice, I didn't. Sorry, I'm moving my thing around. I didn't pursue it. I'm like you. I don't really watch a lot of reality TV, and I guess that's because I've done a lot of reality TV as a background vocalist with other artists and things, and so I've not been a huge fan of it, honestly. But I was contacted by it, and I was like, okay, I'll sit down and I'll do a little Skype thing. It's what I did. I was like, if I got to go stand in line, I'm not doing it. If I had to go, like out of my way, like I'm not doing it. So I literally sat in my kitchen and I sang for somebody. And then within like 24 hours, I had tickets purchased for me. And I was told, pack your bags for enough for like 6 months or something crazy to go out to LA. And there I was on a flight out to LA to do the show that I had no idea what it was. It was the first season. So nobody knew what kind of a show. Like, is it going to be, a show that's a lot about behind the scenes and drama? Is it going to be, like what kind of a show is it going to be and what's the reception? And nobody knew. So we were kind of the guinea pigs. It's all changed now. Now they fly people back and forth and you're out there for a little bit. But when I was out there and I stayed out there for a really long time. It was kind of like Survivor on crack meets. And it was kind of like, what the heck have I gotten myself into? Because it was a little like just because they didn't know what they wanted. So they got everything. They pushed us to our limits. We had 18-hour-long days, and then we'd have 2 hours to sleep and then get up and start again. And everything was on camera. So if you had meltdowns and you fell apart because you were exhausted or whatever, everything was on camera. And so it was a little crazy for me. I'd never done anything like it. I'll probably never do anything like it again.
Now, is it really fixed? Because we have a friend that was on one of those shows, and I'm not giving the sex of the friend either. So I'm going to say, and the friend said, it's crooked. The winner is not necessarily who the winner should be. And I believe that, it's all according to the audience and what they get from the performer. I don't watch the show because I don't think it's fair. Do you think it was fair in the way they dealt with you?
Oh, okay. I love how you worded that question, actually. We all had to sign contracts that were $1 million lawsuits if we told all the details.
So no disclosure.
To answer your question, do I think it's fair, and do I think it was fair with me? No.
Okay. We've had winners from X Factor, American Idol, and The Voice, all three on the show.
And my friend should have won, but didn't because of sexual harassment. This person was sexually how can I put this nicely without getting in trouble? This person was told, sleep with me or you're off.
Oh, and this was The Voice?
No, I'm not saying what it was.
That one was X Factor.
We're not saying. No, don't say it, Jimmy. Then they'll know who it is, and I'll get in trouble. That's okay. This person is a very, very dear friend of mine, a sweetheart of a person, and I don't want to get this person in trouble.
But anyway, it was a reality show, yes, and it was by a judge.
Right. And this person right now is in Europe knocking them dead. Oh,
but I think that I like to watch it. I'll tell you what, I don't like The Voice, the whole thing. I only like to watch the blind auditions. And the same thing with American Idol, and same thing when X Factor was on. I only like to watch the auditions. I don't really like to watch it after that, where it gets all competitive. I just like to see the true talent of the people coming on. I want to get back
to this because this is an interesting conversation. The one that won, what did they do? Like rub a banjo with a cigar box and sing?
No, Cassidy Pope on yours, didn't she?
Who?
I did actually perform on the season finale that she did win, but I was with Kelly Clarkson at that time, so we performed on that episode. But no, the person who won my season was Javier Colon.
Oh yeah, Javier. Okay.
I love Javier. I think he's amazingly talented.
Where has he gone now?
There was major issues between he and the label, and he parted ways with them.
I've met him. He was a very nice guy.
So where is he now? I mean, is he gone with the wind, or is he still working?
He's still working, still making music, still touring, which deservedly so. I think he's phenomenal. So.
Absolutely.
Oh, you're generous. I
think it's fun. I think I like to watch all the shows. It's true that I think there haven't been a whole lot of superstars come off of The Voice in any of the countries, because I watch them in every country. Not like they had a few really big ones from American Idol, which you've worked with. You've worked with a bunch of the American Idol ones because you were with Kelly Clarkson, and didn't you do something with Carrie Underwood? I mean, those are the two biggest stars off of.
But American Idol. Shows remind me of Major Bo's Amateur Hour years ago on early television, 1948, 1949. This guy used to have people come on, amateurs, and sing and dance and whatever. And this was so fixed because back then they fixed TV like you can't believe. And any family that gave them like $5,000, their kid would win. I mean, and some of the talent was atrocious. These reality shows. I have so many friends in reality shows or have been in and, circulate. And they all said, Ron, what reality? We have a camera crew of 100 people. We have a food wagon.
And you have a script.
Wait, we have a food wagon. We have nurses on hand. We're not in the desert alone or in the jungle alone. Well, so it's the hoot.
Keeping up with the Kardashians, it's like, as a viewer, because I do watch them, as a viewer, don't you ever think, like, are they really going on this trip to pursue this ridiculous thing because that's what they would do in real life? No, this is what the producers thought. Oh, this will be fun.
Exactly.
Let's send you over here and have you meet a guru and have him do this in your life, and then let's cause some drama between, this one and this one because they're divorced now, and let's see what happens with them. And I mean, that is all construed. It's all construed. And no,
Absolutely.
you don't have set lines that you're given, but you're prompted. You're put in situations that are totally set up. Because the reality is a reality television show with just a camera sitting in your house while you sit there and eat popcorn and watch TV is not interesting.
This is a reality show that we are, because we got crazy things that we do and say. But we have another good friend of ours who writes for one of the Housewives shows. I'm not going to say which one. And he said that they absolutely sit around with these broads in private and they say, listen, what did she say about you when you had your hysterectomy? Or something like, no, really. And then the one said, well, I told her she was a whore, and that's how come she wore it out and she had to have a hysterectomy. Good, let's use it in the show. And that's what they do.
They do. They do take parts of real life, but
And
then
pull it out.
they find ways to create drama with it, to pit people against each other, to create ridiculous scenarios that they can put you in, which might be funny. The reality of a reality show, whether it is a talent competition or whether it is Keeping Up with the Kardashians or whatever, it needs to be entertaining. So how can we make it entertaining? And that's the thing. And you know what? I'll say this about The Voice. I tell people to do The Voice all the time because I get people calling me all the time going, would you recommend it? Would you suggest it? What was your experience? And the reality is, I hate to use the word reality over and over. It's not, but it is a television show. It is meant.
Hang on. What did it do for you? Did it do anything for you career-wise?
The other day somebody asked me that, and my first initial response was, it didn't really do much for my career. And then as I babbled on, I realized as I continued talking that isn't true at all. It really did. For me, what it did is what it can do for anyone. It can give you the chance to be on a platform and have national exposure that you could never get anywhere else.
Yes.
Thousands and millions and whatever the numbers are. For me, it was 14.4 million people watched my Battle Around episode. 14.4 million people. I got to sing in front of. It doesn't matter if you move on to the next round or if you go home. If you know what to do with that kind of exposure, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And be thankful for that. And
right now, you've got 2.5 million people. 4.5 million people watching you right now. One other question: did you choose the music to sing to, or did they tell you what they wanted you to sing to?
Okay, this was in the contract that we're not supposed to disclose. So I will answer your question. I will.
Don't get in trouble.
Very carefully, and
just say yours or not.
No, she can't. She can't say that.
So it wasn't your music. It was their.
You don't have to
answer it. Now, were you happy with what? Let's put it this way: were you happy with what you sang, or would you have preferred to have sung something else?
Was I happy with what I sang? No.
So it wasn't yours. Okay, got it.
And you didn't say anything. You said nothing.
Because our friend was told what to wear, what song.
Yeah, they
sing,
picked the songs, they picked the outfits.
It's a woman, and she's absolutely breathtakingly. She's one of the most beautiful black women you've ever seen in your life. She's gorgeous with a voice that doesn't quit, and they just screwed her over big time. But screw that stupid show, because she's in Europe right now. Italy, she's in Czech, she's all over. They are going crazy for her.
Awesome. That's awesome.
She's becoming the superstar of Europe. So you see, those shows mean nothing.
So, but good exposure. So hold on. So okay. So I'm gonna brag a little bit now for Cherie, you guys. Cherie wrote a song called "Turn on the Radio," gave it to Reba McEntire. However that happens, and it became a #1 hit for Reba McEntire. So she has written a #1 country music Billboard hit. Now, was that before you were on The Voice or after you were on The Voice?
It's kind of the same time.
Oh wow! So you were like having a good month.
Why didn't you record it?
Well, so that's kind of a complicated answer. So to tell you a little bit of the background about the song.
Wait, let me interrupt you. Not for anything, but I know the song that we're talking. Not that, the other song. You sing better. You sing better than her.
Thank you.
You held notes better. You go longer with a note than she does. I would have sang it if I were you. I would have. What? Did you make a lot of money?
You know, that's not really.
So you gave it away, and you could have been a hit song. With
No,
her.
but you don't know because nobody knows her, and everybody knows Reba McEntire, so that helps put her on the map, and she
Yeah,
could
but, you know,
re-record it because
Reba-
you're going to re-record it and release it one day, right? Soon, one of these
you're
days.
gonna-
On my EP, I re-recorded it, and it is on my EP, and I revamped it a little bit because everyone is familiar familiar with country music. I don't want to sound like, oh, everyone knows my song. But if you're familiar with country music and you're a Reba McEntire fan at all, then you're a fan of that version. And I wanted to be really respectful of that. I grew up adoring Reba. She was a huge icon to me, and she was someone that I wanted to grow up and be like. She wasn't just, in that time, the epitome of a confident, amazing woman who knew how to push boundaries and who knew how to entertain like no other female in country music at that time. But she was also a woman that stepped out of country music and into film and into television and created an empire. And so for me, she was just the epitome of all the things that a woman can do. So
What
to have
do you think? What do you think of Dolly Parton?
Oh, I think she's incredible. I think she's a legend. I think she's, as a songwriter, I think she's unmatched in country music.
So hang on, I'm going to go back though. Okay, so you were on The Voice, then you wrote "Turn on the Radio," and it became a #1 hit for Reba McEntire, who is a queen. Everybody in the chat room, they're all saying like she's like, you know, if you were going to write one for somebody, that was the one to write one.
Adore Reba McEntire.
I know.
She cut
So it's
my-
a big deal, and that has helped you because, like, you have like bragging rights because Reba McEntire recorded one of your songs, and you're a brilliant songwriter because we know that from the other songs that we've heard that you've done, especially "Work It." So I'm going to do some other bragging, and after I do the bragging, we're going to play the "Work It" music video for everybody.
Oh, good. I like everybody out there. You're in for a treat.
Okay, so this is good. This is like my way. When we have an actor come on, what I do is I say, you know, this actor's worked with all these different famous actors, and we don't get that many musicians that are on, except for like Scott Page from Pink Floyd. We don't have that many musicians who've worked with as many great people as you have. So you guys check this out because this is like super freaking impressive. So as a studio session vocalist, she's worked with the band Perry, Martina McBride, Kelly Clarkson, who's like my favorite, Vince Gill, Reba, Gretchen Wilson, Cassidy Pope, and Sarah Darling. Cassidy Pope's from Florida, so like I knew her back before she was famous.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, she was in a rock band that used to play locally all over the place. Then she's toured and been a background vocalist for Carrie Underwood, Kelly Clarkson, Gretchen Wilson, Amy Grant. I love Amy Grant. Trace Atkins. I don't really like Christian music, but I love Amy Grant. She's performed with Sheryl Crow, Vince Gill, Reba, Martina McBride, Luke Bryan, Leanne Rimes, Jennifer Nettles, Casey Musgraves, Big and Rich, George Strait, Idina Menzel, who I absolutely love, and Mary J. Blige, who's like the queen of hip-hop soul, queen of soul, basically. She's like the Aretha Franklin like replacement. And then, you guys, listen to some of the places she's performed, because this is like this is almost more impressive than the list of like superstars she's worked with. She's performed at the Billboard Music Awards, the American Music Awards, the ACM Awards, the CMA Awards, VH1 Divas, The View, The Tonight Show, Ellen, The Today Show, Good Morning America, CMT Diaries, American Idol, The X Factor UK, which I love that show, BBC Breakfast, Live with Regis and Kelly, The Late Show with David Letterman, Star Search. What did you do on Star Search? Were you a contestant?
Yeah, I was a junior.
Oh my God. Were you really when you were little?
Yeah, the same year Britney Spears and Christina were, and Justin. We were all in the same year.
And
Not
what's
together, but-
Right.
what's the best part of you? I'll tell you what the best. That's all wonderful. All those credits are terrific. But you know what the best part is? You're still a person.
Oh, well, very much so.
And that is so sweet because so many people have so many credits and they really think who the hell they are, and they have such friggin' attitudes that you want to smack them around a little. But you are just as homespun. You're not Jewish, are you?
No.
Oh, so are you? Can't use Jewish words with you, but you're like Hamish. Hamish in Jewish means a home girl, and I bet you're a good home girl.
She's a mother.
I mean, like you're not wild out there doing drugs and banging everybody and running around like a crazy.
She has a husband and a 5-year-old.
She's normal. She's a normal, nice girl with a great voice.
She lives in Nashville.
And you got some voice, kid. Let me tell you, because your speaking voice is so powerful. I'm listening to you as you speak, so it's easy for you to sing. And I love Nashville. The hills of Nashville are so beautiful.
Yes, they are. They're beautiful. It's getting bigger and it's changing.
Yes.
So many people are coming in.
Yep, that's right. You could buy a house. They're really cheap, too.
Well, you could. I couldn't, but you could.
No, I'm poorer than you are. You're poor. I wish I did all that you do. I do $2 movies.
All those horror
I
movies that
get-
he talks about that he can't stand, he's in a bunch of them.
And I get $200 a day. Like, live on that one, sweetie pie.
So hold on. Now we want everybody to hear "Work It," and then we're going to come back and talk some more. But
Am I going to hear it, or we're not going to be able to hear it?
I don't know.
Scott, could you plug it in so that we could hear it? Because I really love this song.
I think Danielle does that.
Danielle,
I
Danielle,
do
plug
that.
me in, honey. I really like this song, and I need an up because I'm tired from working in the patio.
And
in the garden.
also, just throwing this out to the universe, but there's a great hair care product line called Tresemme, and their theme song, their thing is "Work It," and this is a great song. So I just tweeted this to Tresemme that they should totally be using this song in their campaigns for all their commercials. So anybody who's listening who sees my tweet, please retweet it because she should totally be hooked up with Tresemme. She's beautiful. She's got long hair.
You know who she looks like? She looks like that actress I like.
Oh,
They're-
that really narrows it down.
Keira Knightley.
Who?
Keira Knightley.
No,
She does look kind of like Keira
No,
Knightley.
this one is fabulous.
Keira Knightley's fabulous.
No, this one is a classic. She's maybe in 40 now. This one's too young. You're much younger than she, but she's got a sister. They're sisters.
And what's she been in?
I know how I get. She's supposed to be a bitch on set. Everybody hates her.
Shannon Doherty?
No. No.
All right, I'm gonna keep you guys plugged in when we play the song. So Ron-
Wonderful. I'll get the name. A wonderful actress. I love, and you look just like her.
Oh,
Same
you're not
smile.
talking about. Oh no, Ashley Judd doesn't have a sister.
Yes.
Ashley Judd does have a sister,
Judd.
Winona. Yes,
You look like Ashley.
actually Winona's a famous country singer.
She's
Right.
the famous country singer. Yeah.
And you look like Ashley.
Well, thank you. That's a
And
huge.
you have the same smile as Ashley Judge. And I hope she's not a bitch on set. I'd like to meet her one day and ask her, are you a bitch on set?
I've never. I do think she has a house in Nashville, but I've never met her.
Well,
She's probably got a house in Nashville and like every other city. In the
well,
country.
I think she's... I
20
think
houses. I don't know.
she's beautiful and she's a wonderful actress.
Yeah,
I
she's
love her work.
fabulous.
I love everything I've seen her do. She does so well.
So
Yeah.
hold on. Here's what we're gonna do though. We're gonna do this. So you guys got it. How about you guys hit play on "Enjoy"? How's that, Scotty J and Danielle?
Sounds good. I just want unplugged so Ron could hear this song.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Right.
I
do that.
I really, if I don't like a song, I won't ask you to unplug. But this one, unplug me.
No, just keep not unplugging.
Oh,
you.
plug me. What
Oh,
the
she's
hell
gonna.
ever.
I plug
me.
you. He likes
Unplug
to
me.
get plugged. All right.
Stop it, you
So-
big vulgar pig.
You know.
So all right, everybody. So this is the fabulous first debut single from the incredibly talented Cherie Oakley, who's worked with everybody. The name of the song is "Work It." It's a masterpiece. Enjoy.
I like that. Working overtime, all you ladies working all night, barely getting by, hanging on for dear life, holding up your heads even when the day is through. Go and get 'em, girls, doing what you do. Put your makeup on with a smile, 'cause you know you're so damn strong. Yeah, we got what it takes. We won't break. Hey, 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 work it like a mother. Work it like a lover. Work it, girl. You know you're worth it. Show 'em what you're working with, 'cause you know how to work it. Work it. Yeah, yeah. Stepping in or out, strutting with a confidence, managing the house, clubbing no relationships, hacking up our boots, ain't afraid to get down and dirty, showing off our minds, lethal thighs, flirty, single, or taking, I'm down like a club or cougar. Age ain't nothing but a number, so on it. Hey, 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 work it like a mother. Work it like a lover. Work it, girl. sacrificing it out. All the women raising the kids with a man on your own. All my sisters together know we ain't never alone. Work it. Hey, we got what it takes, yeah. And we won't break, yeah. 'Cause we're working. Ain't nothing ever gonna stop us. Work it like a mother. Work it like a lover. Work it, girl. You know you're worth it. Show 'em what you're working with, 'cause you know how to work it. Work it when you shake it. Work it 'cause your mama, hey, she gave it. Work it, girl. You know you're worth it. Show 'em what you're working with, 'cause you know how to work it. Work it, girl, yeah, yeah. Oh, work it. Hey, yeah. Show 'em what you're working with, 'cause you know how to work it. Yeah, yeah.
Now, that is a great song. If anybody doesn't think it's a great song, you're deaf, you're stupid, and you're morons. That is a fucking, oops, I cursed. That is a great song. I can't put it in the car. You know why?
Why?
I drive an Audi TT Roadster convertible. I live in the desert. I could do 125 in that car with this music on in 2 seconds. I just felt my gas pedal pushing. It is such an up song. It makes you want to get out there and really get energetic.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. I mean, that's what I wanted. That's what I hope.
It's a great song. Listen to me.
Thank
Cut
you.
it quick. Cut to the reality. It is a great song. I love it, and I'm sure everybody listening. What does the chat room say? Those
They
people?
love it.
I
They said
love
they
that.
love how classy the video is, how well
Now, can
done.
they-
and,
can
like,
they buy
classy
that,
the
or can they
videos.
steal
Yes,
it?
they can buy it.
They can't steal it.
and steal it off streaming, because streaming is pretty much
Yes.
Yeah, what is all that about? You know, so many of our singers are really pissed off. What's her name? Stop recording. Who I love.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
Stevie said, I'm not recording anymore because they're stealing my music. I'm only doing live performances. How do you feel about that, stealing the
Wait,
music?
I want to go back to the.
Well, wait a
music.
minute. I'm on Spotify. Does Spotify steal your music?
They don't steal it, but they have it.
every stream. Anytime you see something that says you can get unlimited for this tiny little price, how do you think people are getting paid by that? How do you think it's getting dispersed amongst investors, labels, people that, producers, everybody that's got points and everybody that's got pieces of the pie? It's like there's no way to get an unlimited amount of anything for such a small price, and people are going to make any money and make a living at that. There's no way.
Unless
So-
you do like hundreds of millions of plays, you might make a little.
A little.
A
And
little.
right now, and we're changing. The Music Modernization Act was changed recently, which has finally allowed, because that had been put in place like, oh my gosh, like the 1800s or 1900s or whatever, when like music, there was no any modern anything. It was like insane. And so finally the Music Modernization Act has been updated to where we're able to go and negotiate with companies like Spotify and Apple and things like that, so that songwriters can finally get paid again. Which is why, to go back to your earlier question, did I make a lot of money off of Turn on the Radio? A lot of people think that when you have a #1 song in country music, you're set for life. Well, back in the 80s or 90s, it was a different story, and you were, because
Yes.
albums sold, and every time albums sold,
You got paid.
a larger piece. But now we have things called 360 deals, which labels do, which take a portion of pretty much everything. in your-
Everything.
your-
Touring, writing, everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, not to say no to what you just said. Again, we have a very dear friend who is in a very famous group. They've sold millions and millions and millions of dollars in music. And how much did she want? I'm talking about Joya Bruno.
Oh yeah, she didn't make any money.
She made $500.
Yeah.
Joy,
yeah.
Joy is from the group
Expose.
Expose.
Expose is very good friends of ours. The girls from Expose.
Yeah, and Joy is
Um,
Jimmy's buddy
They
for
had
years.
8 top
She got
10 hits,
screwed.
and they didn't make any money at
No
all.
money at all.
And they used to sell out like 30,000, people arenas.
Yeah, and BNGB, another one that had a great hit that was out there. She made $1 million, but millions of dollars. She got zapped. They stole these people blind in the 80s. So not everybody made money back then. The music business is really a crummy business.
So what your record deal was and your
Right.
management, things like that. And you really have to, it's sad to me that there are people out there that want to take advantage of people that want to make it so desperately that they're naive and
Sign
young,
anything.
don't know. And then they'll sign anything they don't know and they get very easily manipulated.
You want to hear a great story? We
I
just
do.
got this story just came in. I love her, Cece Peniston. Finally,
You know
who
that
she
song,
is?
Finally, it has happened to me.
Yeah.
Cece Peniston.
Peniston.
Peniston. Love her. Love her to death. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, used that music in the film.
Oh, yeah.
They,
it's
they
awesome.
did not pay her one penny, and they changed the title of the music. So I screamed at her. I said, "Go after them. You've got to sue
not
them. They can't
legal.
do that.
Yeah,
It's not
that's
legal."
not-
But they
no.
went ahead and they played Finally throughout the movie. It was a big number where the drag queens were like with wings and all
Yeah, I
kinds of
saw
crap.
that movie. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
She got nothing. And they said at the end it wasn't Finally the song. It was
Yeah,
called
they like
Finale.
on the thing.
Finale.
They wrote something else on even on the soundtrack and everything. She had to go back and go after them.
Imagine they tried to just like rob her music.
But there's also, if you look, like, because I
Terrible.
Google things all the time. I'm a Google king, and if you look, there's a ton of hit songs that have been put out by other people that are not the people who own them. And if you don't go looking for that, you don't even know it. And there's other people making tons of money on your music.
No, we're not talking about doing covers. We're talking.
No,
about
I'm talking about like selling
stealing
your version of your
Yeah.
song.
your song with somebody like nobody's
like,
voice.
I work, with a big independent record label, and like all the time we had to go and like find people that were selling like our artist music.
Yeah.
Have them take it down, which I think is terrible. But I want to go back to the Work It video real quick. First of all, you look like a young Shania Twain in the video, especially in the video. You look like a young Shania Twain. And I love the end part when you guys are all in your like workout wear. It totally like makes you're probably not even old enough to remember, but in the 80s, I think it was the 80s. There was a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis and like John Travolta or somebody called Perfect. And it was about like this lady who's like a fitness, like aerobics like lady or whatever. And it totally reminded me of that, which is cool because it kind of like brings you back to like a great time in the world.
Well, let's get away from business. Let's go on a personal note because I've got so many fans out there that always say, "Ron, I love it when you ask a little bit about your celebrity's life." Now, you have a wonderful husband who's famous and important, and you have children.
I do. I have one daughter and I have 3 stepsons.
Oh, so you've got a big family.
Yeah, so I know I tell people all the time, like, message me because I feel like it's such a privilege to get to know fans of my music, but it's also to me even more of a privilege to get to be able to talk to them about real life situations. I've been through so many crazy things in my life, ups and downs. I know what it's like to be part of a blended family and how complicated that can be and the ups and downs of it. It's like, message me if you need advice or you want to talk about anything. Like, I'm an open book. I've learned a lot of things the hard way. If I can pass that along to somebody else and help them in their journey personally or professionally, I want to be able to do that.
You're a good soul. Are you out of New York?
No, she's
No.
in Nashville.
I mean,
Nashville. I'm sorry. See, look, I'm 79 years old. I forget things. Give me a break.
He looks fabulous, by the way.
Yeah. Well, the taxidermist that I know does a good job. He stuffs me. I'm so stupid. Of course, you're out of Nashville. But so what are the ages of your children?
She just turned 5.
Oh, so you got a little baby. Oh, how sweet is that?
Yeah.
I have 2 daughters. Of course, they're older than I now. But when they were 5, I raised my children alone. I'm the original Mr. Mom when nobody did it. And yeah, they all said my children were going to grow up to be dope addicts, hoes, or lesbians because I'm gay. Well, they figured gay men can't raise 2 children, and I did. And my daughters are absolutely never did drugs. They're not sluts, and they're just wonderful human beings.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's baloney about men can't raise children. Forget about it.
Absolutely it is. The whole thing is baloney. And, children need people in their lives they can count on who will love them, support them, encourage them.
Love. It's all about love.
Love them enough to discipline them and teach them right from wrong.
Mhm.
And nothing else matters.
It's love. My daughters were here at our house for Father's Day. They brought me balloons. They brought me presents. They brought me cards. And we cooked and we ate. And then my daughter Deirdre whips out this big table and she makes us lay on the table. And what did she do to us?
Reiki. She's a Reiki master.
Oh.
So we had an hour each Reiki session.
Wow.
So, it was quite a Father's Day for me.
Amazing.
But my people say, what's your secret? And I think you're going to agree with me. You only get back what you put in.
Oh, yeah.
What you put out.
No, what you put into a child is what you get back.
Yes.
If you put violence, evil, and disgracefulness and if you're not a good human, you're going to get that back. But if you're a good person and you give good to the children, you'll get good back.
I think so too. I think it's you have to, in my opinion, of course, it's all subjective, isn't
right?
It? But I feel like you get into trouble when you have a child and you see them as a child and you never see them as raising them to one day be an adult. And so for me, I look at my little girl and I know the evils of the world. I know the things I've been through. We talked a little bit about this off the air, sexual harassment and the rejection of the industry and all different kinds of things. And you want to prepare, in my opinion, your child to be confident, self-assured in who they are, to love other people, to know how to deal with the ups and downs. Give your children tools. Don't all of a sudden have your children turn into grown men and women who have no idea how to deal with life because you never gave them the foundation and the tools to know how to deal with them. This is what breeds addiction. This is what breeds all different kinds of things because they were not raised by parents that understood that we are raising children to one day be adults. And what kind of an adult do we want our child to be? Do we want them to be adults who know how to handle themselves with all different kinds of circumstances, who know how to treat other people? Or do we want to raise adults who, have to deal with life with turning to all different kinds of unhealthy ways to cope?
Because you're a product of your environment. I want to do a quick little story to get it at a happy note for all of my fans out there that are over 50 and 60. We have quite a few seniors like me. Jane Russell, as you all know, was my very best friend. We hung out together for years. We were like brother and sister.
Do you know who Jane Russell is?
The movie star Jane Russell?
Marilyn Monroe.
Gentlemen
Prefer Blondes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jane told me a story. She said she was shooting Tall Men with Clark Gable. And she was singing a song about planting a tree, an apple tree. And when the song was over, Gable said to her, "Hey, Russell, come over here. I'll plant your tree." Now, today that would be called sexual harassment. Back then it was flattery. It was a compliment. This is what confuses me. Women years ago loved to be called a tomato or a cutie pie or a sweetie pie or a honey bunch. Nowadays you can't do that. They think it's some kind of, degrading whatever. You could tell a woman years ago, "I am so in love with you, but I don't want to touch you because I'll burst into flames." Today that's called a pervert. Back then it was called a man who was being honest. I'm so sorry that women today are not getting the beautiful side of a man's flirting, that some of them are interpreting it as sexual harassment. When a man looks at a woman and goes, "Wow, you're built." Years ago, she said, "Thank you." Nowadays, they call their lawyer. So, we have to really get it together, folks. Compliments are wonderful. I love to compliment when it's deserved. If it's not deserved, I just tune out. But if a beautiful woman walks in a room, and I'm gay, I still say to her, "My God, you're beautiful with a beautiful shape." I was at the book signing that Jimmy did with Sean Kanan for the book, whatever the book was.
Success Factor X.
And a very elderly woman came in with a gorgeous figure. And I said to her, "Wow, you're some piece of ass for your age. Are you beautiful?" And she looked at me and smiled. About an hour later, she came over to me, leaned forward, and she said, with tears in her eyes, she said, "Ron, my husband died a year ago. And I never thought I'd ever hear another man tell me I was a beautiful piece of ass. My husband used to always say that. And guess what? My husband was 79 like you, and his name was Ron."
No, really.
Yes. So I said, well, your husband's channeling through me. She happens to be one of the biggest soap opera stars in the world, and I didn't. What's her name, Jimmy?
I forgot her name.
And I mean, she's on every.
She's a
TV
big soap opera
she's
star. Young
been-
and the Restless. She's just one of 35 years on Young and the Restless.
Yeah, I mean, she's like a super major superstar.
Yeah.
And so you see what a compliment does? You don't know. So gentlemen out there, compliment ladies because you don't know where they are mentally at that moment. And maybe they need the reassurance because we're all sexual beings. And when a beautiful man looks at a beautiful woman and says beautiful things, what is it? It's beautiful.
Well, you got to be careful, but yes.
No, if he's got hand
Wait,
trouble-
she's going to say something.
yeah.
There's a big difference between complimenting and flirting and being offensive.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, no,
hand,
you're right.
hand trouble doesn't work.
No
And
touching.
there's also a big difference between being offensive and sexual harassment. And I think we've blurred too many lines here to where I think a man is afraid to even ask a woman for a phone number,
Right.
or what is flirting and how do we flirt? And I think once again going back to being a parent, I think it's up to moms and dads to be examples and to teach our children how to be respectful of the opposite sex, but also how to flirt in a way that's not offensive. It's really not hard and it's not rocket science, but you should be able to tell somebody, my goodness, I think you're gorgeous, or, a stupid pickup line, or whatever. I think that there's just a big difference between those things. I think, unfortunately, I don't agree with some people that have lost their jobs that
Terrible. This is terrible.
maybe they're not good husbands or wives. Maybe they are cheating on their spouses. But what does that have to do with the fact that maybe they're, in the entertainment world or a movie star or, a news anchor or whatever? Nothing. We've blurred so many lines in so many ways, I think, with social
What a
media.
good way to say it.
Now, personal is now professional, and it isn't.
You're right. Very good way to say it.
Yep. But what's going on, like the set I just finished a film 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, and I got in trouble with Lionsgate because I have a nasty little mouth because I'm a tough guy from Brooklyn and I like to kid around. And I was on the set joking around, kidding. I mean, not even to a woman, to a guy who was gay. And I was just being silly and funny. And somebody went and squealed on me to the representative from Lionsgate, and they told me, you can't do that. And I said to the guy, and I'm not allowed to give the title of the movie, but there's a curse word in the title.
Okay.
So I said to Lionsgate, how come what's the movie called again? And he told me, I said, that's a curse word. So it's okay to have the curse word in the film, but it's not okay to use the curse word on the set. This makes no sense to me. So I was talking to Judith Chapman, another soap opera actress who's a friend of mine, and she said, oh, they did the same thing to us on The Young and the Restless. They came and said, no more this, no more that, no more the other. And Judith said, yeah, but I'm going to do a scene now in bed with a guy where we're having sex and we're talking dirty. How come that's okay on the screen, but not on the set? So that's what I don't get.
Yeah, well, and I agree with you. I think some of that, I think we publicize things that shouldn't be publicized. Not everything is a news story. Somebody flirting with somebody shouldn't be news, because I think what we do is we've created, and when I say we, I mean they, not me, because I wouldn't create it. I think they have created drama that has turned into now laws, and now people hiring attorneys, and now people losing jobs.
Out of whack. It's way out of whack.
Yeah, I think, I think sexual harassment needs to be taken seriously. When I say I've been sexually harassed, I'm not talking about somebody flirting with me. I'm talking about somebody forcibly kissing me when I was pushing them away, saying no. I'm talking about somebody.
That's
saying
offensive. That's offensive.
Sexual perverted things about me and trying to shove hands down my pants to shove a mic cord down. I'm talking about serious things here. And I personally get offended when somebody puts that in the same category as somebody saying a stupid, cheesy pickup line. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Well, you should have been around in my day when I was 19. When I was 19 years old, I was 17 or 18. I was a model for Sears and Roebuck magazine, or whatever. And we did the photo shoot. Well, they certainly took their time fixing the part of my trousers that they shouldn't have been in. And their hands were all over and smiling. I mean, I've been felt up, grabbed, groped propositioned my whole career because I was a cute kid when I was young, and I mean, it was terrible. And I just let it roll off my shoulders. I never called a lawyer. I didn't care. I just thought, get away from me, you filthy pig, you old degenerate bastard. I would say things like that, or go.
Old degenerate bastard.
No, I had one guy one time who was feeling me up.
We gotta
Wait,
go.
I said, go home and do that to your sister.
So
But
listen up, you guys. Go ahead.
I will say this just to wrap that up, because I know Jimmy wants to wrap that up. But I will say this: it is very important, I believe, for us that are in the entertainment industry and people younger than us that are going to be in the entertainment industry. We should have a safe working environment. We should have an environment where we don't feel like we are going to be violated in any way, shape, or form. So I am 100%.
I agree.
The things I've experienced, I shouldn't have, and quite frankly, that experience you shouldn't have had to experience that.
I will say one thing: if I were in a movie with George Clooney and he sexually offended me, I would say, okay. I would I would not call a lawyer. I would not be upset. And if he groped me and felt me up, I'd say, okay. I'm not offended. It's okay.
All right. So here we have to move on because we have another guest that's going to come on.
I think you're wonderful, delightful, intelligent. Wait a minute, and so knowledgeable, and a terrific guest. And I want you to come back.
We're going to have her back because she's got a new single that's going to be coming out soon.
Wonderful.
And when the new single comes back, we'll bring her back so we can promote that. You guys. First of all, you guys follow her on social media at Cherie Oakley. On Twitter, CherieOakley.com will take you everywhere. It's probably Cherie Oakley on Instagram. Remember now, she's an indie artist, so if you go and actually download Work It from iTunes,
money.
that's how she makes money, because when you stream it, she doesn't make shit. So here, you guys, you gotta
wait a minute. And if she doesn't make money, she wouldn't be here on our show because she'd be home scrubbing floors for a living. So,
So buy it, you
her
guys.
music, damn
Buy
it.
it, please retweet. Everybody needs to tweet to Tresemme the Work It video and tell them that they need to be working with Cherie Oakley because the song goes there for it. It's fantastic. And oh my gosh, and now the door rang. So Cherie, we want to thank you for coming on, and we will see you.
We have dogs
soon. Somebody, bye,
sweetheart. Nice knowing you. Bye, honey. Let me get the door.
All right, everybody. So that was Cherie Oakley. She's a super talent. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And now we're going to take a quick little commercial break to tell everybody to listen to us on W4CY Radio every Wednesday from 12 to 2 and 3 to 5, 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific Time, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We're also on K4HD Radio, Hit 1069 FM, Jackalope Radio, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Audio Boom, Podomatic, Spreaker, Apple TV, and Podbeam. And on TV, we're on Vimeo, Roku, YouTube, and Comcast On Demand. I don't know who was at the door, everybody. Sorry, the dogs are going crazy. Who was at the door? Why are they here today?
I don't know.
Okay.
I said, no, we're doing a TV show right now.
All right, everybody. So then the gardeners were here. So here's what we're going to do, you guys.
See how we are.
Our next guest is Eugenia Kuzmina. We're going to
Wait
play.
a minute. I have to still
We have to go. We don't have time.
Just give me a minute.
No,
Jimmy.
we don't have time.
We don't have time.
We don't have time. We have a 6-minute video we're playing now.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So this is the reel for Eugenia Kuzmina, and we're going to be calling her halfway through. This is her reel. We're going to get her on the line. Everybody enjoy. And B, welcome. B's here. Hey, B. Sorry we missed you before, but you're in. So everybody, this is the reel for Eugenia Kuzmina. She's an actress. She's a comedian, and she's a supermodel. And enjoy. And we're going to have her on the line when we come back.
My name is Eugenia Kuzmina. I grew up in Russia, and literally, I was born to be a model. They took me from the hospital and put me in a magazine. Modeling has taken me all over the world, from high fashion runway, to print, to commercials, to working with the world's top luxury brands, to top magazine covers. I even had my own billboard in Times Square. But I'm more than a model. I'm also a TV personality, a spokesperson, a brand ambassador, an actress, a show creator, and I am a mother of 3. Also, I do stand-up comedy.
Put your weapon on the ground. Do it!
You okay, ma'am? I'm fine.
You gave them your guns? Does this mean we're not in a war zone here?
Gula, babe.
Nick, Jake,
Actually, I'm Nick. He's Jake.
whatever. +1?
Как ты видишь, у тебя было очень интересное прошлое. По таким мелочам, как прошлое его жены, мы не расскажем ему ничего.
Tremendous relationship with Russia. Russian people, tremendous people, but we just keep winning. I'm sorry.
How many times did I tell you to shut up? If I didn't kick you during the press conference, you would have given the whole thing away.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Melania. I'm so sorry. Shut up!
They weren't very nice to me.
Give me those pens. These are mine now. You don't own any pens. Faster! Faster!
You're overreacting. I covered it well.
You have to stick to the script.
I want our school to be a place where it's okay to be a bad mom.
I threw my son's violin in the garbage. У меня дома 300 пистолетов Калашникова. What's your number? Калашникова.
Thank you all for coming on such short notice. Hi, models.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm Sadie. I'm a lesbian.
Hi, lesbian. Oh my God. You're the carpenter.
Yeah. Carlos, hi, nice to meet you.
You're late. References.
I just moved here, and it's my first day.
Try not to touch anything. I know you're part of the laser tag military base camp here that's planning to build a laser tag pipeline.
No, I have nothing to do with laser tag, I promise. These are cool devil sticks.
Mm-hmm. They're called Diablo stick.
Miksi maksaa nyt, kun voimat saa nuo
Yeah, it's a confusing commercial.
Self-esteem. 私は5000ノです。
What for me? Who say noodle with the self-esteem?
Welcome to the House of Ivana.
She's the queen of the Home Shopping Network.
Know how to marry a billionaire and know how to divorce him. So, Ivana, this is a lot of onions. A special ingredient is my special meat. It's it from Hungary. It's called goulash.
Goulash.
Yeah, smell it. What does it smell like? Doesn't it look like Donald's heart? So you add a lot of paprika. Donald loves my cooking. You can get this paprika at a special Hungarian shop or Ivana.com.
You know that's Lowry's. That's not paprika. This is paprika.
That's right.
They don't change.
Back for us.
I came back for me. When I moved to LA, I didn't have a driving license, and the only reason I got it is because the person before me crashed into a tree. I don't know anything about cars, but wouldn't it be cool to know how to fix a tire?
Tires are like shoes for your car.
I love shoes. I want to suck your blood. Just kidding. I actually tried to do my own makeup today. Kind of look like a vampire bride. Oh, I forgot. My friend Julie Ireland literally wrote the book on making gifts personal. Thanks for coming here, Julie. You're the DIY expert.
Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Here's all you need. A glue gun.
A gun?
And your car's kind of pulling to the side. That means your alignment's off.
That's what actually my car is doing.
Right now?
Yeah.
How long has it been doing it for?
Like a year.
A year?
Someone, please help me with my makeup.
Borscht, did I say it right?
Yeah.
And that keeps you warm, right, in the cold country?
You know, you can do it cold and you can do it warm. You can mix whatever you want. Just kind of go with the flow. Cut it in two. Actually, cut it in two.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Better cut it in two or I'm gonna get in trouble.
I am in charge. I like to be in charge. I'm watching you.
This is
Oh my God.
I'm so hungry. I recently went to this charity event and they asked me how fashion helps charity these days. Well, fashion helps by giving jobs to the children.
right, everybody, we are live.
All right, everybody. So that was the actual working reel of Eugenia Kuzmina. Say something, and let's make sure we can hear you.
Hi, guys. Hello.
There you go. I gotta love it. All right, now we'll do an introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, Russian-born actress, comedian, model, and super gorgeous lady, Eugenia Kuzmina. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello. I'm really excited to be here with you guys.
Good. You're so gorgeous. It's not even funny. Like we've had several models on, but we've never had a model who's also an actress and a comedian. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Now, if I was straight, 50 years younger, I would be so in love right now. I would have to propose to you and promise you the world. But since I'm an old bag, 79 years old and gay, it's not going to happen. But I can still appreciate your beauty, and it certainly is classic. You look like Grace Kelly. You are a beautiful woman. Very beautiful girl, actually.
Yeah, I think she was an amazing lady, and
Grace Kelly was stunningly beautiful.
Yeah, and very talented and very intelligent. So
let me introduce you to everybody. First, we've got our lady behind the board. She's at the W4CY studios in Florida. Say hi to Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And then we've got the man behind the videos. He's in Philadelphia, Scotty J.
Hi, Scotty.
Hey, Eugenia. Now, I have a quick question. Now, we've established that you are a model, an actress, a comedian. Are you also a librarian?
Yes, you can see it. I can spend all the time right in this room, reading books.
Because of all the books. I got it now, Scott.
Then we've also got a chat room with a whole bunch of different countries represented. So just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Should I use all the languages that I know?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, do that. We have Russian.
Привет, bonjour, arigato.
Well, now tell us I know French. What were the other two?
Japanese and Russian. So
there you go.
And do buongiorno.
She did that one.
That's Italian.
Oh, that's Italian.
That's
okay.
Italian.
You gotta love it.
Italian.
All right, everybody. So I'm gonna do some bragging real quick before we start talking. Eugenia, you might recognize her from a lot of things. If you're into fashion, you'll probably like her because she's been on the. I know she's been on the cover of Glamour. I don't know what other magazines, but I know she was on the cover of Glamour because that's one of the things that helped skyrocket her to superstardom. She's modeled for Yves Saint Laurent, Alexander McQueen, one of my favorites when I was skinny. Thierry Mugler, I don't know if it's Mugler or Mugler, but either way, she's a superstar model, you guys. She's done all kinds of stuff, and she's also been in Bad Moms with Mila Kunis and Katherine Hahn and Kristen Bell and Christina Applegate and Jay Hernandez and Wanda Sykes. What a great movie that is. Dirty Grandpa with Robert De Niro, Zac Efron, Aubrey Plaza, Dermot Mulroney, and Julianne Hough. Rock the Casbah with Bill Murray and Bruce Willis, Scott Conn, Danny McBride, Zooey Deschanel, and Kate Hudson. You've seen her in True Blood, Blue Bloods, New Girl, White Collar Fury, Model Moms, which is like we're going to talk about because you're going to tell us what that actually is. And she's a stand-up comic, which I saw clips of her on YouTube, and she's very funny. So not only is she gorgeous, she's funny. But
you got two jokes.
So tell us, Model Mom. What is Model Moms?
That's a blog that I started after becoming a mom, because I became a mom kind of in the middle of the modeling career and it wasn't cool at the time. Now I think like every model has a kid just because it's in fashion. But before, I was really struggling because I came back and people were questioning if I can work, if I can fly from Paris, because our job involves being in different cities and you always have to be available. You never know what's happening next day. So, a lot of clients were really concerned that I couldn't continue working. And I just had so much passion for creativity that, I wanted to reach out to other moms who were passionate about different things and create a community. So for me, supporting other women is one of the most important things. And man, whoever is a parent, I think it's always a challenge, and that's when the comedy comes in.
How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids.
Three. Wow.
One is my stepson, and he's 18, and my son is 11, and then my daughter is 7, and we have lots of animals too. So,
oh my gosh!
When did you come to the United States?
I came about 11 years ago. I moved to Paris when I was 15 and kind of worked by myself, there. I started working as a kid actually in entertainment business in Russia, and then I moved to America because that's like a center for, everybody who comes and does something for fashion. And then I moved to LA after having my kids and kind of fell into entertainment. So it wasn't something that I ever thought I can do or pursue or anything.
Because your English is very good. I can barely hear an accent.
Really? Oh my God. It's interesting. I never have a problem with my accent, actually, being part of the projects. And people would always say, like, you have to have a standard American accent. But I mean, I never had any problem with that.
Well, anytime you need a Brooklyn accent, call me.
So, because one thing is, though, is like I watched your reel. Obviously, I haven't seen everything that you've been in, but I did watch your reel that you put up, and you have a really extensive reel. You have a lot of stuff on it. You're always playing like the gorgeous, like sexy one, but also you play like the badass one. Like there's one where like, some lady's trying to rescue you, and it looks like the guy's holding a gun on you, and then like you kick him or something, and she holds him, and you pick up the gun and shoot her, and like so you're also kind of like the action like star, like the super hot action hero star, which we don't have a lot of that.
Yeah, I just watched John Wick, with
yes,
Keanu
Reeves.
That's amazing. The stunts and the coordination. I was just really impressed by the team, and I did a few projects with the same stunt team, and it's really impressive. So it's interesting, I think as an actor, you always have to find new challenges and new skills. So it's really interesting for me. I just passed motorcycle license and looking forward to practicing some other martial arts.
So do you actually train for all that stuff then, so you can do that stunt stuff?
Of course. It's very challenging. It's, if you look at all the action movies, there's a lot of things involved, and, it can be dangerous if you're not trained for them. So, of course.
Now, how many doors have opened for you in your business because of your beauty?
It's interesting because some doors are open, but some doors are closing. I heard actually so many no's just because people presume that I'm standard of like what it was. And I think now there's a lot of diversity. But at the time I started, people would say, no, models can't act, So I actually heard more no's than yeses. It would be surprising, but I think it doesn't matter if you're pretty or not pretty. There's always going to be a no. So I had to overcome my own challenges, and it's a perception that, that it is. But some doors, of course, like some people would, presume, but you have to have a skill also. So I was fired from some jobs when I wasn't prepared to act.
Okay, now, do you think your beauty is a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't think of it of anything. All I can say, I can say thank you to my parents for doing something, but also, I think the way I look has nothing to do with anything else. I think now there's a huge diversity, and I always push for that. I'm always surrounded by women from different, countries, different races, different ages. Right now I'm on tour with other comedians who are all women, and I'm trying to support diversity. Just to educate people about differences and that it doesn't mean anything.
So how did you decide to do comedy, though, then? How did you actually go for... I can see the modeling, obviously, and I can see you being in movies and all the great commercials and being a brand ambassador and everything, but now comedy is another really big jump, and comedy is not that easy. And I watched some of your clips on YouTube, and you're funny. You're very quick-witted.
But she's exceptionally beautiful. No, seriously. I know we're talking about you like you're a third person, but we don't mean to. But you are exceptionally beautiful and very photogenic. I keep referring to Jane Russell, who was my very dear friend. You know who she was, Jane Russell, the movie star?
Yeah.
And Jane was about 87 at the time when we were hanging out. And I said, Jane, how does it feel now that you were one of the most beautiful women in the world, was voted and called the most beautiful? No matter where you went, people were falling at your feet because you were so beautiful. And now that you're an older woman, how does it feel that your beauty is different? You're still a beautiful woman, but not a young, beautiful woman. And her answer to me was, Ron, how do you think it feels? She didn't care for it much, because she felt that the attention she got because of her outstanding beauty and figure, her cross, her heart, her bra, famous stuff that she was famous for, got her so many things in life that she would never have gotten if she wasn't so beautiful. And now at 87, or she died at 89, still stunningly beautiful for an 89-year-old woman. It bothered her. Aging bothered her over the decades. Do you think that'll happen?
I don't care. I'm a comedian, for me, that's what matters, the truth. And, I was a model. I never thought I would be a model. That was just something that I had to do to support my family. And I appreciated working with amazing designers, but it was always, something else for me. Like I actually want to grow as a person, and that's the least of my concerns.
Well, most Europeans don't have a problem. Sophia Loren, who is like 82, will not get a facelift. She feels like all Italian women, when you get older, it's life. It's part of life. And I don't think Sophia Loren regrets growing old and not being as beautiful as she was.
But she's still beautiful. She's just a different beautiful.
Yeah, that's it. But they look for the young beauty. I mean, when Sophia sees a film of hers when she was 26 years old, it's heartbreaking. I know so many actresses that are beautiful, and they talk about their old films. And you look at them now and they're not even pretty. Some of them are really quite ugly. As they got older, they lost their beauty. Mm-hmm. And it's a very sad thing. So beauty can be a curse or it could be a gift.
Yeah, I think my job is to push past that, So
that's what I feel.
I think so too.
I feel that you're going to grow into a beautiful woman because there's no way you're going to be an ugly old lady. You will be a sophisticatedly beautiful. You will look like Catherine Deneuve.
Oh yeah, I love Catherine.
Yeah. And she's no youngster. Catherine Deneuve is, who she is?
Catherine.
Yeah, we say it French because she likes that.
Okay, well, I'm American, so I say Catherine Deneuve.
She is my age, exactly. She's 79, and she looks wonderful for 79.
There's wisdom about, actually French women, because I kind of grew up in France, so they have the attitude and sophistication, and there are other things, that I think you mature and learn and that are attractive.
So do you think you've learned a lot of things from living in Paris?
Absolutely, yes. I was a sponge. I was 15 when I moved there, so that's where I got my education. That's like the forming years for a person, for sure.
And fashion, you learned so much about fashion.
Yes, I was a very shy person, I'm probably still a little bit. So when I came to Paris, nobody would hire me for maybe like a year. I would go to auditions and I wouldn't talk. So, modeling involves a lot of like showing off and knowing who you are. So I was really lucky that Yves Saint Laurent kind of noticed me and I started working with him. And I really appreciate that relationship because I learned a lot about the designer and how it works and the creativity. So after that, I was lucky to work with amazing designers and learn a lot about fashion.
Name some of the designers you worked for.
Guy Roche, Dior, John Galliano, Steve McQueen, Alexander McQueen. Steve McQueen is another.
Yes.
Sorry.
Wow.
Alexander McQueen was amazing. Actually, somebody who really, a lot of times as a model, you do fittings at like 3 a.m. because fashion shows, it's kind of like rock concerts. You just go from one city to the other and you have like 10 shows a day and then you do fittings all night. So he always was super nice to models and treated us, like normal people, not like hangers. So
I love all the fashion stuff. For many years, I had my own clothing line called Jimmy Star. I only made one-of-a-kind clothes. I dressed Madonna and Elton John and all kinds of people, and I did costume design for films. And John Galliano and Alexander McQueen and Versace, those were like kind of like the people that, as a young designer, you like idolize because they're so out of the box and so different. So the fact that you worked with, except for Vivienne Westwood, you didn't mention her, who's my favorite.
I love Vivienne. Yeah, she's amazing.
She's my actually favorite. I met her when I was in England. I went to her store. She rides her bike every day, and I literally like stalked her just so I could meet her because I was like so excited about her. So I think the fact that you've taken that career and catapulted from that and into the next level. Do you still go back and do any modeling? Do you still model like if somebody were to contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. I do calendars. Like right now, I'm working on a calendar with all different cars because I have a photographer who's like a celebrity photographer for cars. So I'm really passionate about that. That's a new world that I learn about. And, I do work. If it's an amazing artist, I think it's always fun to collaborate no matter what you're doing. I don't want to be like, oh, you're an actor, or you're one thing or the other. I think it really depends on the project and the intention for that.
You could have been probably one of Valentino's best models. I could see you in all of Valentino's gowns.
Yeah, I did work with him a little bit, not as much as maybe I wanted to, but I think I was just too shy,
No, he designed for women that look like you, tall, thin, elegant.
How tall are you?
She's tall.
I'm 5'9", so I'm not as tall.
That's all. Oh my God, I thought you were 5'11", 5'10", 5'9".
I wear a lot of heels, yeah. So
No, you sit tall.
You do sit tall.
You sit very tall.
Okay.
I thought I was going to think 5'10", 5'11" for sure.
Of the camera. That's what I learned from acting.
But
there you go.
I mean, you should have been around in the good days when Givenchy did designs, and the clothing that they made, those beautiful puffy things. I could see you in them. Very, very chic, very elegant. You know who Givenchy is?
Of course I do.
Well, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people don't know who he is.
Of course I do.
And Balenciaga.
I can't wear any of that stuff anymore because now I'm fat. But when I was a clothing designer, I was skinny.
Those were the great designers. Chanel.
You guys know a lot about fashion. I'm actually really impressed.
Oh no, I know. I used to buy all the collection books every year. Everybody would like shop in my store because I only made one of a kind. So like all the designers would actually go to my store, and I would see my stuff knocked off and mass produced all over the place.
Wow.
But back in my day when I was a kid, Audrey Hepburn wore Balenciaga, Sophia Loren wore Valentino, and you knew the movie star that wore the gown or the outfit of the film. And who did the costuming in the film. And it was very important back then because women would emulate the stars. They wore their hair like Barbara Stanwyck or Joan Crawford, in the gowns. And women looked stunning. Women were beautiful in those days. They wore gloves and high heels and stockings. You were a kid. You weren't born yet. What do you think about women today that are fat slobs in sweatpants and sneakers with their asses? Their asses bouncing when they walk, or those big fat asses bouncing. They don't have bras on.
That's not a nice thing to ask.
Wait a minute. Half of them have beards, and they all have pink and green and orange hair.
I actually love it. I have kids, so my daughter, she's 7, and she loves to put like all kind of hairs, like blue and,
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people you see in the street that you say, how did they have the nerve to go out in public that way? My mother wouldn't leave the house unless she put lipstick on.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a changing world. It's a different culture. And actually, I love that. I think there is this certain freedom, and it's a great time for women just to explore, different aesthetic, and it's definitely a new aesthetic of millennials. Just went to Fortnite convention. There's like a big convention for video games. So
yes.
I think there's a different influence, and who knows? There might be like different creativity that is coming. You never know, what comes out of that.
Do you think chic will ever be back again?
Well, there is the timeless kind of perception of like angles and architecture. If we talk about that, there's like a certain aesthetic, but it can be explored in a different way. So I think classic forms never go away. They just transform to, the appropriate time and culture.
I hope so. And I think when you go out, you look absolutely stunning, I'm sure.
Thank you.
No, I'm sure. I don't know. I've never seen you publicly, but I'm sure that
she looks good in all her movies.
No, I could see her looking. I don't think she goes out looking like a
So
slob.
we know a lot about fashion too. One thing you have to remember is that we're like gay dudes.
And
so we know all the designers.
Yeah, and for my age, I still dress. I don't care. I don't go anywhere looking like an old sloppy man. I think it's horrible because the older you get, the better you have to look, and the more you have to dress well. There's nothing worse than a fat man with a beard and his belly hanging out in sneakers and a "fuck you" T-shirt.
I think it's important to take care of yourself. So that aspect, like I really appreciate when you can see somebody really cares and has.
Yes. We see that a lot.
You have to stay beautiful all your life because life is a flower. And you don't want to destroy the flower. You want the flower to always be beautiful at every age. And some people just give up and they wilt.
Yeah. I think it's important to always grow, and I think it comes from the inside, to be honest.
Yeah.
So hold on, let's go. Okay, so you've made several movies, you've been in a lot of TV shows. So how long have you actually been acting?
Maybe about 5 years,
So you've actually accomplished a lot.
Maybe 8. I wasn't really, I was focused on having my kids, and they came pretty close, together. So it was important for me to take that time and then see where the transition is. And also, I think when I started acting, I really, I stumbled into it by accident, but then I fell in love with actually the creativity and, different aspects of it. And in the way, Hollywood still is really typecast. So I think, it took me some time to really find my voice,
So bucket list, okay, because you've already worked with only acting a few years. You've been in some films with some pretty big name people.
Very impressive.
You have a very impressive resume for a very short time. What bucket list, if you could make a movie with any male and female actor and they were going to be your co-stars, who would you like to work with that you haven't had an opportunity to work with yet?
Okay, that will be funny. I would love to work with Keanu, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good
he's
one.
my neighbor, so I'm totally gonna go and stalk him.
I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'll go too.
and if he has improper behavior with me, it's okay.
Okay, and then give us a female. Who's a female you'd like to act opposite of?
I really love. I mean, there's so many amazing female actresses. It's really hard to name one. I worked with Nicole Kidman on something, and I think she's amazing. And I love Sharon Stone. She's somebody I met, but I never worked with. So I would love to work with her. But there's so many amazing comedians that are coming up. There's a comedian called Miranda Sings, and she's kind of blowing up right now. She has a special on Netflix. And I think she's really original and talented and, would always love to collaborate too.
Do you have you said you're doing a tour, a comedy tour with a bunch of other women. Do you have dates or anything you can tell anybody where you're going to be?
Yes, we're going to Vegas. And we're kind of preparing to do a special in Los Angeles after that. But in Vegas, we're going to be second weekend of July. So if you guys are celebrating 4th of July and staying over, definitely, connect.
That's awesome.
Now, how about making a movie with Angelina Jolie? Would there be a problem with the two of you being so beautiful?
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, I think she's such a badass. I met her once in Cannes when they were doing I think she was supporting Brad Pitt at the time. And I think she is a stunning woman, really interesting and, really original in her own right. So yeah, of course, there's.
She grew up in my house,
Oh, she did?
She's my daughter Deirdre's friend. They went to kindergarten together up until school, and we lived on Spalding, and they lived around the corner in Beverly Hills. She and her mom. So I remember Angie when she was a tiny little kid coming to Deirdre's, I think 4th or 5th year birthday party, and I asked her then. I said, "You want to be an actress when you grow up?" And she went, "I don't know."
She's natural.
And everything now, her boobs are real, her lips are real. There's nothing changed on her because when she was 5, she looked exactly like she looks now.
Yeah, she was a model before. I think my agent represented her before. And, I just think she's such a hardworking and interesting humanitarian.
Very, very interesting woman she's grown into. Very interesting.
I love it. So
a little bizarre, but very interesting.
So you have the comedy store. We should tell people your social media so they can follow you. So you're Eugenia. Is it Eugenia Kuzmina 1 on Twitter, or what are you on Twitter?
Yeah, actually, I started kind of late, so I think there's another Eugenia Kuzmina there. So I had to.
Can't be.
You're Eugenia. Is the one first or is the one at the end?
I think the one at the end, yeah.
Okay, so it's Eugenia Kuzmina 1 at the end on Instagram, you guys, because she's not that big on Twitter, you guys, but on Instagram she's like a rock star. So you have to find her on Instagram, and is it just Eugenia Kuzmina on Instagram?
Yeah.
Look her up, you guys, because you'll see such amazing stuff. She does really fun things. I started following her yesterday, and
let me ask her a personal question. So, is your husband in the business?
He is, yeah. He runs a studio right now. It's called Miramax.
Excuse me.
That's
just Miramax he runs. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's the second year that he's doing that, and I think the misperception is people think that like it helps me in some way. Actually, I mean it helps and it doesn't in a lot of ways because you have to prove that you earn the roles and. Like people don't really understand what goes behind that. But my husband is a really hardworking, really good man, and he inherited a lot of baggage coming with the studio. So
absolutely
that he has to do. But, I'm really proud of him and really interesting to learn the other aspect of this business from him.
I love it. Also, you guys.
Sounds good.
You guys also, if you want to check out her website because they posted it up on the screen. But if you're listening and you're not watching, you can go to Eugenia No, is that a hyphen? No, dash. That's a dash. Eugenia-Kuzmina.com. Do they call that a dash? I don't even know. I'm like retarded.
Yes.
Okay. Eugenia-Kuzmina.com, you guys. Check out all her stuff. You want to watch Dirty Grandpa and Bad Moms. Like, you weren't in the sequel, though, right? You're just in the first one.
Tell me about Dirty Grandpa. Did we see that?
Yeah, we saw it. That's the one where Zac Efron is supposed to get married, and he takes Robert De Niro,
and
who's his grandfather.
Who did you play in that movie?
Like a hippie character. She's a hippie who's protecting environment, and she gives Zac a really bad time about I
remember that.
The pipeline.
Were you in like gym shorts and sneakers or something?
I was like in a sweater, and I was part of like the hippie convention there.
Yes, I remember that.
I remember now.
I love it
because your face has got to be outstanding on the screen. Like you could have 40 people.
Oh, what's your dog's name?
His name is Logan.
Hi, Logan. We have three rescue dogs, so we love dogs.
Oh, that's amazing. I just shot a movie yesterday. It's called 12 Pup Christmas, and we had to shoot with dogs, which was my first movie with animals, and it was really fun.
Oh my gosh, I'm producing my first film with animals right now, so.
Oh, good luck.
All dogs, thanks. Yeah, we're gonna see how it goes.
And Jimmy and I are married legally for 8 years, and it's like I'm in the movie, so now I'm feeling, geez, now people are gonna think I'm in the movie because I'm married to Jimmy. So I know what you're talking about when you don't feel you live up to it, Yeah. So I want people out there to know that it's just that I play a mafia hood very well. and that's why they want me. I'm famous for playing a bad guy.
Okay. So you gotta love it. All on his own merit. It has nothing to do with me.
Not because I'm married to
Jimmy. He auditions just like everybody else.
But I do tell people I got the role because I sleep with the producer.
Oh my God, you stole my joke.
Yes, your joke. So definitely everybody follow her on social media. Check out her website. You definitely want to go see her whenever she's going to be doing. I can't wait to come and see you do comedy because I think it'll be fabulous.
I can't wait to see you in person so I could sit there and just say, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful. Look at her. Look at her. Oh my God."
Also, I want to thank Holly Johnson for hooking this up at the last minute to get you on the show. Was very she's a very cool lady. Love her to death, and we wish you all the luck in everything that you do. And anytime you got anything big you want to promote, let us know. Let Holly know, and we'll bring you back on.
And if ever you need gorgeous clothing and gowns, I have a very good friend. His name is Fedor, and he's from Russia. And he is absolutely fantastic designer. You should somehow get to Fedor. And he's not that expensive. He's not cheap, but he's not expensive. But I figured you guys could talk Russian and get the look that you want.
That's to go. All right, you guys. So it's Eugenia Kuzmina. Please follow her. Check out all her stuff. We want to thank you for coming on the show. You've been terrific.
Beautiful
You've got
girl.
a beautiful smile, beautiful girl, fabulous library, wonderful dog. Please say hello to the family and good luck in everything that you do.
And I hope to see you in person one day.
Yeah. Good luck with your movie.
Thank you.
Bye.
And you too with your film.
Bye.
Thank you, darling. She's a beautiful.
Yay, isn't she fabulous? All right, everybody. So next week on the show, we're going to have Scott Page from Pink Floyd, and we're going to have Regina Burke, who's a great new artist. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Scott's a good friend of ours, so it should be a fabulous show.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in this week. Danielle, you're fabulous. Scotty J, you're fabulous. Everybody, we want to thank all our guests and everybody in the chat room and everybody who's watching. And we will see you guys next week. Have fun, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Next week.